All righty. Question one, the four sources of the law of evidence are in the left-hand column: Constitution, statutes, common law, rules of evidence. Identify the authority from which each respective source derives its power. Two, what is the difference between the way the Federal Rules of Evidence 1975 and the New Mexico Rules of Evidence 1978 were adopted and are updated? Three, in England, in the years before the Fourth Lateran Council in 1215, identify one of the two functions performed by the noble disseisin jury. Four, when the noble disseisin jury was first created in England, why was it made up of 12 men? Five, what did the Pope do at the Fourth Lateran Council in 1215 that led in England to the use of the noble disseisin jury to decide criminal cases? Six, what right later embodied in the 5th and 14th Amendments to the U.S. Constitution was derived from Article 39 of the Magna Carta, signed by King John after he lost the Battle of Runnymede in 1215? Seven, when the criminal trial jury retires to deliberate, what faculty of the human mind is supposed to be the sole foundation for their verdict? Eight, concerning the right to trial by jury in the 6th Amendment, what is the concept of vicinage? Nine, identify three differences in the way in which the adversarial and the inquisitorial systems resolve criminal cases. 10, identify two ways in which the traditional right to trial by jury in criminal cases has been undermined by changes in state and federal law and policy, both before and in the aftermath of the 9/11 suicide attacks. 11, identify two ways in which the right to trial by jury in civil cases has been undermined by changes in state and federal civil trial systems in the last 30 years. 12, Lord Justice Coke's decision in Bushell's case in 1603 established what rule of law fundamental to the modern right to trial by jury. 13, when a prosecutor presents evidence to a grand jury, what two different documents does the grand jury have the choice to file? 14, what is the power of jury nullification? 15, what is the power of judicial review? 16, when the Declaration of Independence accused King George III of interfering with the right to trial by jury, to what then recent, now famous event were the petitioners referring? 17, while Article 3 of the U.S. Constitution as drafted in 1787 guaranteed trial by jury in all criminal cases, identify two of the four ways in which advocates to add a Bill of Rights pointed out that the draft Constitution did not fully guarantee jury trial as that right had been previously understood in English law. 18, in the Fifth Amendment, what two provisions were added to help strengthen and guarantee the power of the jury? 19, identify the two clauses included in the Sixth Amendment in order to strengthen the right to trial by jury as it was understood in 1787. 20, what right is guaranteed by the Seventh Amendment to the Bill of Rights? 21, by what constitutional amendment is a child born in the United States granted citizenship just because they were born in the United States without regard to the citizenship of their parents? 22, in what way did the 14th Amendment differ from all constitutional amendments which had preceded it in terms of the focus of its impact? 23, under the U.S. Supreme Court's selective incorporation doctrine, nearly all of the procedural rights contained in the Bill of Rights were deemed incorporated into the concept of due process and made applicable to the states by virtue of the 14th Amendment. Identify two such procedural rights in the Bill of Rights which were not so incorporated. 24, identify two of the three primary functions of criminal courts. 25, identify three of the primary bases of a criminal court's jurisdiction. 26, in exercising its completely discretionary authority to decide which cases to accept for decision, the United States Supreme Court fulfills four primary purposes. Identify two of these. 27, in the Anglo-American common law adversarial system of criminal justice, the trial judge plays three primary roles. Identify two of these. 28, identify two of the three methods by which people are chosen to be judges in the United States. 29, the primary duty of any prosecutor is to do justice, true or false. 30, under the concept of due process, the prosecutor has a duty to disclose to the defense evidence tending to show that the defendant may not be guilty, true or false. 31, the Sixth Amendment guarantees each defendant in a criminal case the assistance of counsel. Defense counsel has 6 primary duties. In discharging this responsibility, identify 2 of these. 32, in the American criminal justice system, there are 2 separate ways in which a person may be charged with a felony. Identify 1 of these. 33, in the American criminal justice system, persons are selected for jury service based on their presence on various lists. Identify 2 such lists. 34, according to the United States Supreme Court, what is the minimum number of people which a criminal trial jury must contain? What is the difference between direct and circumstantial evidence? And why do modern critics believe the grand jury no longer fulfills its historic role as a protection for the people from overreaching by the executive branch? In the voir dire process, jury selection, what are the 2 methods by which prospective jurors are excluded from service on the petty jury, which will decide the case? And then there will be some other questions based on the objections handout and the relevance lecture that I gave. So that's it. We'll see you next week.